Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and this is day 20 of the 80 Days to Your Dream Body course. Today's protein source is going to be pork belly, and today is an active recovery day. So, right now, I'm going to be taking you through some stretches for the superficial back line to help release tension in your lumbar spine and improve your back health. Now, let's get started. Next, we are going to be performing the stretching routine. For the stretching routine, we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. Today, we are going to be doing some more global stretching, and we're going to be working through the myofascial meridians. So we're going to be working on all of the lines discussed in Tom Meyer's book, Anatomy Trains. With regard to the first one that we're going to do, this first stretch is going to be focusing on we're going to be focusing on the superficial back line. The superficial back line, this is going to be great for relieving tension in the lumbar spine. And with regard to today's stretching routine, we're going to start very, very simple. And every single recovery day, we're going to just gradually ramp up the intensity a little bit. But all of today's stretches are going to be very, very basic. So even if you're a beginner, most of them you should be able to do. Toward the end, they are going to get more challenging as we progress. But the first half, you should be able to perform all of them no problem. For these ones, what we want to do is we are going to maintain a static hold for 1 minute each. So I'm just going to get my timer ready. That way I know when time is up. But we are going to start with 1 minute. For the superficial back line, the very first one that we want to do is a supine knee tuck. So you're going to just go ahead and lay down on your back. And for 1 minute, you want to just go ahead. You're going to tuck your knees toward your chest. If you have even more, if you want to open up the hips a little bit as well, you could even bring the legs into the armpits. But otherwise, just bring your knees toward your hips. And we're going to hold this for 1 minute. And the entire time, you just want to breathe through it nice and comfortably. So 1 minute starting. Oh, where is the button? Give me 1 second while I get the timer going. Next. Perfect. Okay, 1 minute. Tuck those knees in. We're focusing on the superficial back line. Anybody that has low back pain, or if you have a lot of restrictions in your low back, if you are excessively in extension and you want to get out of extension and promote a little bit more flexion, this is going to be absolutely terrific. If you find that you have any type of impingements in the hip, for some people, this may be a little bit uncomfortable for the hips. If they have any type of impingement, what you could do is come out of it, go back into it, and see if that alleviates it. A lot of times when you have any type of impingement, if you go out of the position and then go back into it, a lot of times that will be good enough. Another thing that you can do is some circumduction. If you guys have been watching my assisted PNF stretching tutorial videos, we've gone over circumduction in a couple of them. Circumduction, it's going to increase the synovial fluid. Go! All right, we're going to move on to the next one now. The circumduction is going to increase the synovial fluid. That's going to help to reduce friction in the joint capsule, and it's going to loosen it up and lubricate it a lot. So if you do have any type of restrictions in the joint capsule, or if you find that you're getting a lot of impingement, just go ahead and try doing some circumduction first. And the circumduction, you could do things like just gentle leg circles, leg swings front and back. You could do abduction and adduction. But we're going to move on to the second stretch of the superficial back line. For the superficial back line, the second stretch we're going to do is child's pose. So we're going to start getting into some yoga stuff for this one right over here. What we're going to do is we are going to sit down onto our calves. We're going to just sprawl forward with our hands down by our sides, and we're just going to relax in this position for 1 minute starting right now. This is another terrific stretch for anybody with low back pain. And again, if you are somebody who you are aggravated by excessive lumbar extension, getting into this position and getting more into lumbar flexion can really help a lot with your pain. If you already have excessive flexion and you do not want to go into flexion, you'd rather go into extension, you could just skip these ones. And instead, what you could do is the Mackenzie press up that we did earlier, you could just do a static hold. So you would just go into extension as much as you can tolerate, and you would just hold that position for 1 minute. But if you are good going into flexion, then this is going to be terrific for the lumbar spine. It's really going to help to open up, especially the posterior aspect of the lumbar spine. Go! All right, and that was it for the superficial backline. We're going to be doing two poses for each of the different nets in Thomas Myers's Anatomy Trains book. Now that we did the superficial backline, the next thing that we're going to do is the superficial front line. That was just a tiny taste of what can be found in my members only section. If you enjoyed it, become a member for only $5 a month to get access to hundreds of member only videos.